So I saw my baby eating these, and I don't do the frozen boxed or canned, so let's make him some real pizza pockets. And we're going to be using these puff pastry sheets because this is bullshit. Now, I don't do the pork either. Bae do the pork, but today we going to be using turkey pepperoni. Now, I like my pepperoni to taste like it's cooked, so I pop it in the oven and let it get a little bit crispy before I add it to my pizza pocket. While that's cooking, we're going to be making our garlic mixture that's going to be going on top of our pizza pockets. I cook down a little bit of butter. I add a pinch of Celtic or sea salt, a decent amount of Italian seasoning. I put that aside and wait to heat it up, and my pepperonis are ready. I coat the pan with a little bit of butter because Pam ain't shit either. Go look it up. I warm up my butter on low, and this is what it looks like. Now let's make our pizza pocket. Once our pastry dough is nice and defrosted, you want to gently take it apart. And I like to use the 2 pieces of paper and put it underneath. It helps it from not sticking while I'm preparing the hot pocket. Now you can cut this either way, calzone style, which I typically do. But today we cutting it like this, and I ended up really liking this way versus calzone style. Now, if I'm not making my sauce, my favorite sauce is actually from Sprouts. I love their pizza sauce. It tastes fresh and homemade, which I love. My second favorite is Prego sauce, but this one did not disappoint me. When making these, you want to make sure you leave a good amount of space on the edges. You don't want it to spill over while it's cooking. I add a layer of sauce at the bottom, then cheese, then pepperoni. We already demolished 2 of these earlier, so we working with the ingredients we got left, okay? Now I layer it up and then layer it down. So basically I do the reverse, which is right after that pepperoni, I go in with the cheese and then the sauce. That way we ensure that the cheese doesn't dry out the pastry dough. Now you can skip this part if you want to, but if you're a garlic lover like me and Bae, you're going to want that garlic sauce infused in that edge crust because perfection. Now, once I am done layering it how I want to layer it, I make sure that there's not too much going on the edges. If so, I push it back with a spoon. Go ahead and flip that over, and then I pinch and roll over the edges. You do not have to do this. You can go in with a fork like you'll see me do in a minute. That's how I make sure that it's secure, and because I do put a greedy amount of filling in the inside. Now, you can stop right there, but I like to use my fork and just make it look a little bit prettier on the side. But as you'll see when I'm done, the fork wasn't forking. Now it's time to put that garlic butter on top, and you want to spread it evenly. You don't want it to be dripping wet. It's definitely easier to apply with a brush, but we ain't got that. This is what it's looking like. I put the oven on 390 and I cook for about 15 minutes. I cut the oven off and I let it sit in the oven for about another 4 minutes. You want to save some of that garlic butter to drizzle on top? Yes, this is what a hot pocket should taste like.